Hello, my friends. Hello. So I'm just going to hang for a second. Let y'all jump on. I was looking for a quick link for you too, but I might have to give you that. Let's see. I think this is it. Hello. It's Jodie Harvala with 31 Days of Spirit. And we are on day 19. There we go. That's what I want. All right. Hello, everyone. Say hello when you jump on. Let me know you can hear me and see me. I think you can. There we go. There we go. All right. Hello, my friends. Why did that one not work? Okay, that one worked. All right. So I just put a link in the comments. I'm doing some open sessions on Thursday for the winter solstice, body clearings for special price, and then space clearings. Beautiful day to do some clearings. Great if you're having a whole bunch of people over for the holidays. It's a really nice time of year to clear your space. So I have a link in there. And then if you're on my main email list, you will get it also in your email too. And if you're not on my email list and you want to, just head over to my website to sign up for it. Put that in here. And I am not sure if our blank email issue will be taken care of before Friday. So make sure you check your spam folders. That's where most of you have been finding the real email, which that does happen. That just happens. So make sure that if you get the blank one, I apologize. But I think a lot of them are on vacation, which is all right. It's Christmas week. I'm okay with that. All right. So today, I have one more housekeeping. So tomorrow, my son needs to go to the dentist unexpectedly, and the only thing where they could sneak us in was at noon. So I'm going to come on. Let me just double check my timing. Hold on. I think I'm going to do it. Let's see. We're on the 20th tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow and Thursday, I am going to be on at 10 a.m. Okay, instead of noon, 10 a.m. because Wednesday, tomorrow, I got to take him to it's not a super emergency, but we have to go at noon. And then on Thursday, he's got a restaurant thing at school and I have to go to that. So we are doing our 31 days at 10 a.m. Central tomorrow and Thursday. Okay. All right. So today we're going to talk about journaling and burning. I was just working on one of our new tools that we're going to be adding into Spirit School this coming year. And it is going to be really helpful for my Spirit School people. And it's all about journaling and burning. And we've created kind of a accountability tool, I'll put it that way, to be able to encourage people. So tell me who on here that's watching, and even if you're watching the replay later, tell me who's a journaler, who actually does journaling, either journaling or journaling and burning, or journaling and getting rid of it in some way, shape, or form. Who is a journaler? So when I was young, I actually used to journal a lot. I always had a journal. I was always writing in it. I always had my thoughts in it. And I didn't realize till a lot older that I used it to put my not so great things in. Like I didn't do a gratitude journal. Let's put it that way. It was much more about getting my pain out, getting my anger out, and things like secrets and stuff like that. And I did it all the time when I was young. Then I got a boyfriend and he was a pretty toxic dude. which, I mean, I was young, didn't know. He was old enough to know better, I can tell you that. And he read my journal, and then he used it against me because, of course, I had a bunch of secrets in there. And it mortified me, and it was such an invasion. I would just remember it felt so invasive. And I stopped journaling for years. And I didn't realize till I got back into this work how important my journaling was. And then I remember my mentor kept asking me about journaling, and I was like, yeah, I used to journal all the time. And she's like, well, what'd you stop for? And I was like, because my boyfriend read it and used it against me over and over and over. And she's like, yeah. And so she taught me, Sunny Dawn Johnson taught me about journaling and burning. Great tool. So I burn it in my little stove back there, or I do it in the bonfire, or I do it in my grill, or I have a big old spaghetti pot that I'll take outside and burn in. Do not burn in your house. Do not burn your house down. But when I started this work, I would have a lot of pain in my body, and I could never figure out why my body started to, I was like, what the hell? I'm always in pain. And I couldn't figure out what that was about. And working with my mentor, she's like, I just think you have a lot of unexpressed emotions. And I think it's painful stuff. And I used to kind of shut my emotions down. And so when I started opening them up again, well, then all this pain came up, and I'm like, what the hell? And so I started journaling again, and I started burning. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Okay, let me read where you guys are, and then we'll keep going with the conversation. I gotta sneeze. Occasionally I journal. Mary says, I don't like to do it. However, I'm doing it. I get that. Chris says, I journal and burn. It feels so good. I do it, but not consistently. Nikki had one of those boyfriends too. I don't know who you are, Facebook user. It says, what do you use for journals? I'll let you know what I do. Not very often, but when I'm upset, I will. I'll take that. Okay, so there's a lot of different types of journaling. So I talk a lot about journaling and burning because a lot of the people that I attract for my work are big feelers, and they typically we usually start because they're taking on other people's shit, right? And they're emotional, and they feel everything super deeply, and they take on energy that doesn't belong to them, and like all of that kind of stuff. And so my journaling typically was, I always get irritated with things. And so when I started journaling, it was everything that I was annoyed with. And I was a professional. I bitched about everything. And if I didn't have something to bitch about, then I had nothing to talk about. And I just kind of grew up in that. And so when I started journaling consistently, I decided, my spirit told me, I had the hit. And then I told my mentor at the time, I was like, listen, I want to journal every day, and I want to send it to you, but you don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to read it, nothing. I just need to send it to you because I know that if I don't, you'll call me on it on our calls. And she said, well, you're trying to show up for yourself. That's what you're working on. So she was happy to do that. I think I wrote to her every day for almost 4 years. And I still will send it once in a while. I don't always send it now, but I write to her every day. And there was something about that just worked for me. And the consistency of it and learning how to show up for myself in that state was super helpful. And so when I journal, I will tell about what's going on in my life a little bit, maybe, but I'm expressing the stuff that's upsetting. If there's something that's not working, I actually have shifted that. So when I first did it, I wrote everything that pissed me off. And what I noticed was, wow, I'm pretty negative most of the time. I'm like, this is terrible. Like, I wouldn't want to be friends with me. And so it helped me see my stuff and how I was out in the world, my judgments, my opinions, my bullshit, like everything I bitched about. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. And so I got to see that. So then I shifted my journaling into things that were bothering me and what was working for me. And I was like, oh, that feels better. And what I really noticed is the energy I was putting out in the world that was kind of shitty, I kind of saved it up for my journal time. So it didn't have to be out in my world all the time. And so that was a huge awareness. And I was like, oh, my life feels a lot more peaceful. I felt a lot more peaceful because I had a place to safely express myself. And I didn't necessarily need anyone to be witness to it, although there's times that I do. But it was just so much better, and my body didn't hurt anymore. So when my body's hurting, I'm like, okay, it's a workout and my emotion, like what's going on in my body. But when I am consistently writing, my body doesn't hurt. Some people do gratitude journals. And when I tried to do a gratitude journal, I had so much bullshit that I could never get to the gratitude. I was like, well, that's a dumb thing to do. I thought it was so dumb. And, but I also didn't realize I wasn't good with gratitude because I was bitching about it, everything all the time. So I do know a lot of people that do more of the gratitude journaling, but I like to get rid of the stuff underneath. And then I might do some writing on my gratitude stuff. I like to feel my gratitudes, don't necessarily need to write them. Not that you shouldn't, because I actually think that's a good commitment as well. But for me and my body, I needed the expression. Okay. I just use paper or I type it. So if I'm doing my update or my daily, I type a lot. I can type faster than I can write. But there's times if I'm super upset, I'll write, and I just use printing paper, and you usually can't read any of it. It's more about just getting the energy out, pen to paper, and then I burn it. Okay. So for me, it's about expression. I love that. Vicky says journaling and burning seems stupid, but it was the get out of jail free card to freedom. Amen, sister. Doris writes and burns. I use a spiral notebook, easy to tear out and burn. Yep. Now I see your name, Shondell. Hello, everyone. So journaling to me, I think journaling is really personal. And I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. I do think some people don't know how to journal, and that's what stops them. They're like, I don't even know what to write. So they just kind of make a list. I think for me, it needs to have more details to it. It needs to have the feelings to it. It needs to have the emotions. How do I like this? Does this work for me? Is this something I want to work on in my life? When I read that back, am I shocked by how I showed up or didn't show up? Am I wanting to shift something? Is this a cycle? I could see so many cycles when I started journaling. I was like, oh my God, I keep doing the same fucking thing every time. No wonder it keeps happening, because I was never doing anything different. And I thought, oh, so it helped me see my self-sabotage, and it's helped me see my cycles. And sometimes I'll be like, yeah, that's the cycle. Still haven't fixed it. Still haven't figured it out. But at least I'm aware of it now, which is a huge piece. I can see it. When I was writing and I was like, oh my God, all I do is bitch about stuff. And I had so many excuses on why I couldn't do things. And I'm like, that is so irritating just to read. Like, I was so irritated with myself. And so then I would write about that, which was good. Because then I could get into a place of compassion too. Like, I just didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know back then. And looking at yourself and seeing all your shit isn't always the easiest thing in the world. Most people don't do it, quite honestly. And it to me, it was really the most helpful thing to help me become more peaceful. I just read a thing. I don't know if I have one of those subjects, but I just read a thing that I have a lot of people that talk about not being able to sleep well at night. And they said to sleep, you need to be peaceful. And I was like, ooh, that's really a good question to ask someone if they feel peaceful. I didn't feel peaceful most of my life. Just the last few years, I've even understood what that means for me. So when I go to bed at night, I can sleep. And I haven't been a sleeper for my whole life. And so that peaceful peace, that's what the journaling gives to me. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you can put people in the freezer. Don't know how, never did it before. I would do better with prompts. And you know what? If you look up journal prompts online, there's billions of them. There's books, there's journals, there's online prompts. I agree. I think prompts sometimes, like a lot of my prompts when I first started, I would be like, I am upset at, I am pissed off because, I hate la la la. We call it spiritual hate mail. I know we're not supposed to use the word hate, but sometimes you're in there. I would also put things like, I wish I could change. That's a good one. I wish, if I could talk to so-and-so face to face, this is what I wish I could say. Because I think writing people letters before you have big conversations is really helpful. I have something in my teeth, sorry. I write a lot of letters to people I really kind of want to tell off. I don't give them the letters. I just write the letters. I will write things out before a big meeting. I will write letters to spirit, to God, to loved ones, to my husband, to my kids, to my cats. Like all sorts of shit comes out in my writing. We have a cat. I know I've told you this before, but I've had it in my journaling. We have this black cat in the neighborhood. He looks healthy. He's got a collar. He's not homeless or anything. The cat freaking comes in my house through our cat door. He did it again last night. We hadn't seen him for months. So I was like, oh, good. The cat's gone. And then last night I'm taking a bath and I'm hearing Eli yelling and screaming downstairs. And I'm like, what are you screaming at? And he goes, that damn cat came in again. And I walked into the kitchen and I'm like, how long was that cat in the house? And he's like, I don't know, just a minute. I heard Ruby screaming at him. I'm like, yeah, he ate all her food. I was like, so he was in the house long enough to eat her food. I wonder how often this cat comes in our house that we don't even know. And like, he's been in my journaling because I don't want another cat. I don't want strange cats in my house. I don't want cat fights. Like, I'll write stuff that's concerning to me. So it can be funny stuff too, you guys. Like, you can have a conversation with yourself like, okay, Jodie, like, you know that you overreacted. And so you might want to go have a conversation and this is what you could say. And I'll kind of coach myself. So there's a lot of different ways you can journal. But journal prompts definitely can be helpful. I agree. I like to type. Could I type out my journal and then delete, or does the burning part have something to do with the process? So a lot of times I'll journal and I'll print it out and then I'll just scrunch it up and then I'll go burn it. So you could do it that way. You could rip it up and throw it away. But if you're nervous about other people reading it, you might not like the ripping up part because you might still feel like someone might read something. And I want you to have like free will just to write it, right? So you could definitely do it that way. I have lots of people that do it that way. I have one lady, I can't remember who it was, but several years ago, she goes, oh, I just journal all my stuff on toilet paper and then I flush it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, first of all, what kind of pen do you use on toilet paper so you don't rip it? And she's like, I don't know. I've just always done it that way. So I thought that was genius. So you can do a lot of different things. You could do it a lot. I like typing daily. I do my writing, typing daily. But if I'm very upset about something, it is pen or pencil to paper, and then I burn it. Okay. I think the burning, I'm a Leo. I like fire and I like the transformation of it. And it feels like a ritual. It feels like I'm doing something. I can see it burning. To me, that's a release of it out of my body. And then the thing that you got to remember, this is probably more important than any of it, you got to fill back in. And I don't know how many years Sunny has been trying to get me to do the fill up before I started doing the fill up. So you're emptying out all this energy. And then afterwards, you got to do something. That could be when you do your gratitude. That could be when you put music on. Maybe you go for a walk. Maybe you watch funny movies or funny cat videos. But you got to do something to bring your vibration back up. So you got to fill in. A lot of times I just sit quiet and I fill myself with a rainbow. Because to me, filling myself with light in the places that I just emptied feels the best for me, but there's a million ways you could do that too. Okay. Chandel said, do you burn it right away or sit on it for a couple days? I do not sit on it. I do not want to hold on to that energy. I have a lot of people that hold on to their energy. I don't. I just burn it. Some people do save it for like during the full moon. The full moon is about release. So a lot of people do a full moon burn. And that's okay, but I wouldn't keep it like in my bedroom. Like I'd keep it somewhere in my garage or outside or not in my bedroom where I'm trying to sleep. Okay. I don't hold on to it. There's no reason to. And that might be a question for yourself too. Like, why do I want to hold on to it? Why couldn't I just burn it right away? Isn't that funny, those cats? I think it's so weird. I've never had a strange cat come into my house. I burn it in a heart-shaped pan and then put the ashes back to Mother Earth after they're cooled and ask her to take care of it. Yes, yes. I love burning. I know. I do too. And like I said, for my spirit school people, if you're enrolled in spirit school, we've created a really fun tool that I'll be showing you guys soon that's going to help you with that piece. Okay. If you don't have a place to burn, we're going to help you with that piece. Okay. What other questions do you have on journaling and burning? To me, it's the freest kind of therapy you can do for yourself. It doesn't cost anything. Paper and pen, pencil and paper. It's also, this is another thing I hear from my clients. I'll explain journaling and burning and I'll tell them to go home and do it and all this stuff. And then a few months later, I'll ask them, are you journaling and burning? And they're like, no, well, I did that once. Okay, well, it's not a once and done. Journaling out things, because all of our shit comes in layers, right? And so there's things from 10 years ago that I just last week was journaling and burning about. So, I also think it's one of those handy things that you can grab and you can move it and you can get rid of it again. And so it's not a once and done. Okay. It is an ongoing tool, just like our moon clearings or clearing your energy or meditation. It's a practice. It's a journaling practice. For me, it is a health practice. It helps my physical health and it helps my mental health and it helps my energy. And I was shocked how quickly my pain left my body once I started to journal consistently. And then if I ever say anything about pain, like in my mentoring calls, first thing she asks, are you journaling? Are you burning? Are you writing? And very seldom is it a no, because I know what that feels like. And it doesn't mean that my body never has pain. Like I work out in different things, so I might have some pain. Or if something is something that I don't know how to journal about it, I don't quite know what it is. Like I had some anxiety last week and I was like, I don't know what this is, but I can feel it. And I've journaled all my shit out. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it takes like a mentoring call for me to kind of go into what it's about because I can't see it. It's hard to see your own shit sometimes. So then as soon as we got to it, I was like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Then I could go journal about it. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Donna said, I need to journal and burn more often, need to let go of things that are weighing me down. Yes, ma'am. Because if you don't express it, it'll come out sideways some way. Okay, whether it's illness or weight or snacking or self-sabotaging or whatever it might be for yourself. It's a good way to kind of check in with yourself. I usually go through every part. I'm like, okay, how's the kids feeling? How's Eli and I doing? How's work going? How is family stuff going? How is my health feeling? How's my wealth feeling? Like I go through all the different pockets of my life because that helps me check in daily. Where do I need to spend some time? Okay. All right. What questions do you guys have on journaling and burning? Who wants to try it for a week and see if it makes any difference for you? I actually would say try it for 2 weeks, but I'd take a week. I journal every day. And the other reason, so some people journal in the morning, some people journal at night. I do not journal at night because it gets my head spinning. So I do not journal at night. I usually am not quite in the mood to do it in the morning. So my routine is I actually will do it between 2 and 3 in the afternoon because it helps me shift from work to home. I used to do it because the kids would get done and I'd have to go pick them up from school at like 3:20. So at 2:30, I would sit down and I'd do my journaling. So I didn't have all that chaos in my head and I could go be a good mom. Because when I didn't, I was already irritated by the time I picked them up. And so it really helped me to take a few minutes and to journal everything out. And I'd take a breath, then I'd go get my kids. So for me, it was a great time. Like now, a lot of times I'll do it between 4 and 5 because then I'm done with work and I'm moving into my nighttime where I want to go, be mom and a wife. And so it helps me get out of work mind too. Hello, Michelle from Canada. Good, Shondell. Love it. Vicky said, I journal and burned in 2014 for 13 months. Healing from my dad abandoning me when I was little, or when I was 8. Little did I know it prepared me to be reunited with him a year ago. See, that's a cool miracle. Okay. Peg is going to try it. I think don't try, just do. And said, I'm going to research and then first to learn, then yes. So what questions do you have about it, Anne? Maybe I can help you. You just got to start writing. I've never been a journaler. Yeah, it's, I would say at least give it a couple weeks to try it. See how your body feels. See if you sleep better. See if you feel more peaceful in your own skin. See if you feel peaceful more out in the world. What I really liked was a lot of my expression that I wasn't expressing and would come out sideways all over to everybody else started to kind of hold itself in until I journaled. And so all that chaos that I would have started to just kind of bring itself and be like, oh, we can let this all go at 2:30. We don't need to let it go all day long. And I was like, that is amazing. So that was super helpful. Just start writing about how you feel, Anne. Just say, today I feel, and then just let yourself go. I felt like this when I woke up. I felt like this in the morning. I felt like this at work. I felt like this at home. How am I feeling about my life? Just start with how you're feeling. Hi, Miss Michelle. Pamela, you have been, because I know we've talked about it. She said, I've been stubborn about journaling. Time to get on it. Yeah. Give yourself 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Just start. Start about how you feel. That's what I would do. Okay. All right, friends. Any other questions? Let me look and see what we're doing tomorrow. Hold on. I think we're doing, tomorrow we're going to talk about some different things you can do to start preparing yourself for the holidays. Because I know a lot of you feel a lot of stuff and you're going to be with family and you're going to be with a lot of people. And for some of you, it's really overwhelming. And so tomorrow we're going to talk about that at 10 a.m. Tomorrow's 10 a.m., Thursday, 10 a.m. Okay. How do I burn? So I'm lucky. I have a little wood burning stove in my she shed. So I burn it in there. If I'm at the lake, I will use either a grill or the fire pit. I also have a really big spaghetti pot that I found at like Boys Ranch, or you can get those big clay pots from like Menards and stuff. They're super big. And I've used those. I used to actually do a burning pot class when I first started in all this, and people would bring their big pots and then we decorate them. So you can do that. Do not burn it in your sink. Don't burn paper in your house unless you have a fireplace. A lot of people tell me stories. I'm like, God, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't burn your house down. That is not the purpose of this. So I use a big old pot. Now I just use my stove, but a lot of people will go get a big, like they have really big clay pots. and they just use it for their burning pot. So that's a couple different ideas for you. Michelle, you taught me journaling and burning. Yes, I did. Yeah, we'll get you ready for the holidays tomorrow. I actually have a little cauldron too, Pamela. It's little though. Mine's a little bit too little to burn in, I decided. I write a lot. Yeah, don't use your sink, you guys. You're going to start your curtains on fire. Do not do that. Don't start your homes on fire. All right, what else you got? Any other questions for today, my friends? Yeah, it's actually kind of fun. We would do a whole thing with I haven't done that class in a really long time, but people would bring nice big pots. I'd have them bring their own, and then we would all bring paints and all that kind of stuff. And then they would put affirmations and intentions and positive words and artistic stuff, like whatever you want can go on your pot. Some people did the inside of the pot too. And that's just what it's used for, just burning. They don't put anything else in it. And I thought it was helpful. You can use your grill if it's not a gas grill. You don't want to be burning your paper in a gas grill because you're going to screw up your things. What are magic flames? What are magic flames, Vicki? Tell us that. Tomorrow we're going to be getting ready for energetically what you guys can do to prepare for the holidays. Yep, I'm not doing readings today, Tara. I have that on the schedule, but not today. But yeah, you can make it good for you, hon. Don't wait for it to be good to you. Just create it to be good for you. All right. What other questions you guys have? Anything else for journaling and burning? What else you got? Oh, we've used it at the lake. So Vicki said magic flames is colorful powder that creates color. We get that sometimes too. We do it at the bonfire at the lake. All right, friends. Well, that's what we got for today for journaling and burning. So tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central, Thursday, winter solstice, 10 a.m. Central. Also, make sure you check your emails. I got a special out for body clearings and for home clearings. Great time to do it on the solstice. I have some open day. Also working on your word of the years. They'll be coming. They're always delivered for sure in email by New Year's. So remember by New Year's. And then I'm trying to get as many done so I can get all the power animals out to you to get them there before New Year's too for shipping and all that good stuff. So just know that they're coming. They're coming. I'm working on them. I'm hoping my voice stays. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. Thursday, Central. Okay. All right, guys. I will see you later. Have a good day. Go journal.